Okay, thank you. I'm Jim Fitzsimmons. I'm one of the co-captains, and so I get to give a little talk. I'd like to start by saying something I said 2 years ago, that I really like the way the Fairfield Prep Hall of Fame works. Unlike other halls where you get in after 5 years, Prep makes you wait a little longer. In our case, that was 50 years. But that's a good thing. First, it allows our accomplishments to be tested against time, but also this is our 50th year reunion. So we get to celebrate this honor with a lot of our classmates who are here for the reunion. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because while we were certainly a good team, our fans, our classmates, were really our secret weapon. During introductions, those of you who can remember, they would shower the floor with a canopy of red and white streamers, which was exciting and intimidating and really motivating to all of us. And then during the game, their cheers, their shout-outs and so forth were clever, creative, and really served to rev up the crowd. We had, as you heard in the video, we had filled the halls all the time. It was a really exciting time. What really stands out to me, though, even to this day, most of us, is some of the stats we put up. You heard about the 95 points per game, which is pretty remarkable when you have 8-minute quarters and no three-point line. But we were also pretty good at defense, as evidenced by our average margin of victory, which was 28 points. So we weren't just playing offense. We lost but one game to Harding by 2 points. But we avenged that loss 2 times. We went and played at their court and beat them, and then faced them again in the state quarterfinals and beat them again, both times by 20-plus points. We even went on and we beat Hill House, who was the AAA state champ. We played a secret game with them here at Prep, and we beat them by 20 points as well. So I think we can certainly lay claim to one of the better teams in state history. Obviously, a lot of credit goes to our Hall of Fame coach, Bob Sylvester. He made a lot of key decisions. He made a lot of key decisions when he decided to go with a senior-laden team, and then after we lost the Harding, when he decided to open up the offense, which allowed our offense to really get going, while all the time emphasizing defense. In fact, most of our practices we spent really on defense, honing or perfecting our multifaceted defensive schemes. So who are these guys that actually made it all happen? When we entered the 68-69 season, we weren't even favored to win the NBAC, which was the league we were in at the time. The reason for that is we only had one returning starter, that being me. So we started the year with a whole new cast, and our starting lineup consisted of Al Smith, Jimmy Kresser, Jim Navigan, and Wally Hallis. I might point out all 4 of those guys went on to play in college as well. So it was a good team starting 5, but we were ably supported with a great bench, led by Jimmy Connolly, Dom Serino, Nick Tarasovic, Scott Butterworth, and Mike DeAndrea, who's here today. Oh, our class president too, by the way. Rounding out the team was our 3 juniors, Peter Liddy, Ron Stone, and Gene Karpinski. And I can say all those guys really played so hard and so competitive that the practices were often more difficult than the game itself. So we accomplished a lot on the court and enjoyed a lot of friendships off the court. And for those of you who have been on a championship team, the results usually in friendships that last a lifetime. As you heard in the video again, when Jim said we attended each other's wedding and so forth. Sadly though, 2 of our favorite teammates and friends, Jim Navigan and Al Smith, aren't here today, as they were called by our Lord. But I think I can speak for my teammates and everyone who knew them when I say that while we'll miss them greatly, and we do miss them greatly, we'll always remember their quick wit and the many many great times we had together. So, I'd like to end with what I think is a funny story about an event that happened when we replayed Harding at their gym in the first rematch. And that is, prior to the game, one of the Harding starters was talking to us, giving us trash talk and saying, quote unquote, "We're going to kick your ass." Sorry, Father. Well, as it turns out, the game wasn't that close. We jumped off to an early lead and we're beating them pretty badly. But at one point during the game, that same trash-talking starter was dribbling up around half court. We were playing one of our trapping defenses, and Hal Smith stole the ball and started down court. But before he'd go very far, that same player turned and literally kicked him in the behind. Right in front of everybody. Obviously, he got a foul. But you got to admit, the guy kept his word, right? So we had fun with that one for many years. So on behalf of the entire team, most of whom aren't here, unfortunately, but in behalf of all of them, thank you so much for this honor. It's something we'll cherish forever. Thank you.